Are you aware that Fulanis are the only people in Nigeria that travel to other people's states where they are not originally from? Although Fulanis are all foreigners in Nigeria, there are no any indigenous Fulani in Nigeria. They are the only one that go to other states, settle there, become an indigene, and eventually take over political power. They are the only one that can do it. No any other tribe in Nigeria is capable of doing that except Fulanis. And that is how they have strategically taken over states and continue to take over states. Now, the northern Christians you can see, even though they were deceived by their forefathers to stand against Igbo, Fulani convinced them that Igbos are dominating them, Igbos are this, Igbos are that. And they created a phantom called Arewa, and they created a phantom language, an Arewa language called Hausa, and all of them bought into it. And what Fulani did Fulani did was that he successfully used both Hausa and Arewa as an imaginary political geopolitics to be able to enable them have some kind of control over Nigerian politics. They used it to deceive them. And the deception was that they made them believe that the Igbos are a threat to them. And Igbos are majority Christians. And the people who are in the forefront of military leadership in the north are Christians because of missionary schools in the north. Now, do you know what they did? They convinced these folks, the Fulanis convinced them to turn against the Igbos. They used them to overthrow Igbo and knock them out of military, kill all the officers. Even when Aguiyi, when he took over, he was sympathetic to northern Christians. There are a lot of colonels, lieutenant colonels, commodores who were Igbos. Yet, he didn't choose them. He went and chose low-ranking Yakubu Gowon and low-ranking Tiwa Danjuma as Christians to bring them close to him. And they were warning him about this. He didn't want to listen. That these people are not thinking in your likeness in terms of Christianity. They are not thinking that way. They are thinking in terms of Arawa, which the Fulani has convinced them and their forefathers. They were the one that killed Inosi. Even though he gave them an unfair and unqualified positions in his government, they were the one that killed him. Not only they killed him, this anti-Christian, they wiped out over 300 senior Igbo army officers in the military. And eventually, when they are finished doing the job for Fulani, Fulani took over from them, and today they are suffering. They are dealing with them. They can't smell political office. Even when they are not smelling political office, make them believe that they are part of Arewa, and anything Arewa gets is them that get it. And that Arewa being in power is them that are in power. Whereas they are not smelling any power anywhere. They never smell it. They can't be vice president, they can't be president. And it's systematic. Not only that, do you know what Fulani did to them? Fulani now, all the major ethnic groups in the north, Fulani had decimated them, scattered them to complete oblivion. The first one is Hausa. They scattered Hausa. Hausa doesn't have any identity. They don't have any hold. It's no more an ethnic bloc. Then look at Bagi. They scattered Bagi in 4 states. Bagi doesn't have any identity. Come to Nasarawa state. You see, Fulani is ruling Nasarawa state, and there is smallest minority. The Christian-dominated Kwadroma people have never tested power. That is what I've been repeating the cycle. Now, after they use them to be able to put Igbo down, who are the only opposition Fulani have in Nigeria, they now started cutting them down. Now they are killing them and taking over their lands. The Christians in the north have no foothold, no political unity, no political bloc. Their ethnicities have been scattered. They don't have any ethnic bonding or any ethnic political bloc. They do not have any religious bloc. They do not have any geopolitical bloc. Nothing. So they were leading on the Fulani control of the north, in wresting power in the south so that they can only be given pets. And because the same systematic way where they don't allow Christians to get to any political office, to deny them, the way they exclude Igbo, that's why those excluded them. In the worst case, that they're killing them. This is the kind of stupidity northern Christians are not taking note of. That they are being wiped out and they are gone. Now they are starting it. Do you know the reason why Nigeria is where it is today? It's because they came to this after the Civil War. These people came. The Igbos are the southeastern Nigeria. The eastern region is known to be Igbo speaking place. The tribes there are all Igbos. From down to the coast, from Cross River to Bayelsa, it's all Igbos. Anyway, all the old people there is Igbo. They scattered them. They wanted to do the same thing they did in the north, to destroy the tribes and destroy them and lose their identity. They started doing it. But thankfully, the status is still maintaining the hegemony, the harmony. They still maintaining it. It is that one that status is maintaining that's the problem. They want to also diversify it, scatter it, penetrate it, dilute it, and make it more ethnic, more religious, so that they can take over power from there and occupy those places. That is exactly what is going on, and people don't know. Now, instead of these northern Christians in the north to pivot towards Igbo, that's the Igbos are the only opposition that Fulani have in Nigeria. Yoruba is gone. Yoruba is gone. It's not good. It does not take all Yoruba. Yoruba is under their feet. Instead of them to work with Igbos, pivot towards Igbos, and even support the Biafra agitation movement. You see what Biafra agitation have done? You see all the lobbying they've done. You see what is going. They join together to, every time Igbo, they join them to attack them, including the stupid ones in the coastal states. That the only salvation they have, the only real opposition that these people have that can counter them is only the Igbos. Instead of them all to come down, pivot, they want the coastal state to pivot and understand the game these guys are playing to destroy everybody. That's why they are making them to come against Igbo, so that because Igbo is the only problem they have. Igbo is the only opposition that Fulani have. They have conquered everybody. Igbo is the only people that have not conquered. Instead of them to come and pivot towards Igbo and unite with them, they keep on singing the old story, the old game that Fulani taught them and using to destroy them. Igbo is this, Igbo is that, Igbo did this, Igbo is that, Igbo is that. They keep them blind for what they are doing to them to destroy them. They keep them blind. And every time they tell them to go to elections. Election to do what? To reinforce the constitution they wrote, to reinforce the political structure they created, to reinforce all that they were doing so they can remain in power. You need to beg them before you become anything in Nigeria. Because they know they are locked down all the states. It's under their control. The structural system of politics. That is what they're doing. And they often now, some of them are not realizing it. If you talk to, you see somebody from Edo State, you see somebody from Igbo this. You see people still in the northern Christian, they're still talking Igbo this, Igbo that. People that are gone. The only hope you have, and the hope that is still existing for that Trump is today here in Nigeria, doing this intervention, is because of Igbos. It is because of this same Biafra people you want to say to kill. You want to kill that you don't want to hear Biafra. You become the Biafra. They are the one that went to Washington and lobby for this intervention you're seeing. How is it a cause that they cost you people? When you see your savior, you can't even know your savior. When you see your helper, you cannot know your savior. You put your head down to be killed, and you will fight the person who come to save you. Is it a cause? Now, cause they cause you now. Eh?